Hello everyone, I'm Raga Olga De Silva, or Totally Out Now as you know me. I'm the co-founder and director of Speaking Minds, India's largest international speaker and B2B content agency. Wow, I've had many esteemed guests on my From the Other Side series, as you all know, all equally fun, insightful, loved, and engaging. But today's guest is super times super loved. His presence and his energy are infectious, even on screen. I know you're all waiting to hear from the other side of this great man. Welcome, Boman. How are you?
I'm okay.
I know you have to see my face. I was told that.
Oh yeah. Hi. I like. I, how are you, Raga? How are
I'm
you?
very well.
Lovely.
Super
And how
well.
are you, Nicola? Nicola has disappeared. Please introduce Nicola also. Not fair. People who work back behind the scenes. Come on, Raga, say something about Nicola. Come on, hurry up.
Nicola is the most amazing human being you will ever meet because she's from New
No, I
Zealand.
didn't say you have to lie. You just want-
Oh, she's doing all the things behind the scene. I am here and Boman is here. Thanks to Nicola. Okay. And then, okay, go on. How are you? Why are you? Why did you come in so sad?
Because you said, oh, he's got this energy. I said, you must always surprise people. You must always swing it around. Oh, yeah, okay. I just want to spin it. That's all. Forgive me.
So much to learn from you. But we already started getting a huge number of engagement audience. Hello, everybody who's joined in. And I will speak as little as possible because we want Boman to talk. However, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and we will come to them as and when possible. And there's going to be a surprise at the end of the session. See, that I have to say because that surprise I have to talk about, right? So people can stay. Okay, come back. Keep talking to us. And Boman, my first question to you. First of all, are you going to have fun with me?
No, I thought you'd never ask. No. What I'm saying is we must have fun.
Yes.
I'm selfish. I'm selfish as a human being. I want to have fun. And if I don't have fun, how are people listening, watching your movies, watching you on stage, how are they going to have fun? So I think you must first, it's like that mask that the lady of the airplane tells us. First take care of yourself, then you can take care of your kids. Take care of yourself. Enjoy yourself. Don't be out to please people because it might look nice on the air. Just have a good time. Have a good time, and if you enjoy, they will enjoy. Correct?
And we are absolutely, we're going to give it a try. At least I'm going to give it a try because I know you always have a good time. I am always super excited about life. And after meeting you and having this conversation, I think I'm going to be even super duper excited. So I'm going to ask you one thing which has been on my mind for a long time, Boman. There are so many aspects to you: actor, photographer, teacher, mentor. Every day there are new things coined, and because you're so talented and you're so wonderful, as we know. But I want to know, if you were to have a school of Boman Irani, what would it look like? And what subjects would we have?
A school of Boman Irani. You're trapping me over there. But I think that that's a little presumptuous to say I have a school and who's going to attend besides you and me, Raga. Who's going to join in,
And
right?
Nicola.
And Nicola, of course, she's wonderful. I think the idea behind it is if you do have a school and you are part of the gang, I think there's a wonderful thing I learned in cinema for characters. Uh, and that wonderful thing is and in screenwriting and in acting is to follow your bliss, whatever makes you happy. There's flip side to it. When you follow your bliss, what is true happiness? I don't know. Does anybody know what makes them truly happy? I don't know. But if you follow your bliss, there will be obstacles always, and it's not going to be easy to chase your dreams, to follow your happiness. Those obstacles, when you overcome them, you find a certain amount of gratification. So if you're permanently following your bliss, life will have problems. but you've got to jump over those problems, and the greater your bliss is, the greater the obstacles will be. So we've got to understand that. So never feel that you have, oh man, all these bad things are happening to me. The bad things are happening to you because you are following your bliss. So boring answer. I gave a very, very philosophical answer, but we'll have fun. The point is, in a nutshell, we are meant to have fun. So the subjects would be: let's have fun, let's follow our bliss, let's see what we enjoy, let's try and figure out what our talents are. And it doesn't mean that if I'm talented, it means that if I follow my talent, I'm going to be happy, right? Just do what you're blessed with, and enjoy your life. I feel we've got too many problems on our plate to sit and worry about the rest of the world. So the school of Boman will be: follow your bliss.
Super. Can I join that school, please? When are the admissions?
Founder member.
Super. See, now this is about you. I would have added another subject or many more subjects. One subject would be about how to stay humble, Boman. You have, and this is something again that keeps coming back to me. You've had a fantastic journey. You started off as a waiter, then at some point you became a photographer, and then the acting that you've been doing as an actor, and so many other things. But one thing that I feel that, and I believe that you've stayed very humble. How did you manage to do that in this world when everything is so fake?
Look, honestly, I really don't know what the definition of humble is. What is it? Is there some guidelines to remain? I think if you're having a good time and you're enjoying your whatever success, or your friends or your family, I don't know how to zero in onto that word humble. I'm having a good time. I have no time for other things. So if you feel that sometimes good manners is humility, then I'm humble. I don't know how humble I really am, because I've never put a definition of what the yardstick of humility is. Being polite to people, wishing people back. People say, "Oh, you're so humble, wished us back." Yeah, but that's good manners. Is that a big deal? I don't know. I really don't know. I try to ignore all these things. Say, "Oh, I'm humble." No, the moment I think that way, then I'm not, because I'm aware of what humility is. I'm just having a good time. I just want to, as we said before the show started, we're going to have a good time. If we have a good time, that's it. I'm too distracted by all of that. I'm too distracted by all of that to give humbleness a definition. A meter, a humble-o-meter. I don't know what it means.
But it's good to know that, because you don't have a gatekeeper. For instance, you and I have been, in contact quite a bit lately to curate the show, and it's been so easy for me. To me, remember, I work in the celebrity business. I work with speakers, people who are renowned and well known, and so there is a certain amount of difference. I must say that. So, in my definition of what I see in the world, you stand out for me, and I really mean it, because I am in this business. Yeah, and
I'm quite. I don't know. People, I get surprised by that, because I think speaking to people in a particular way is construed as humility. It's just basic. I don't know how to say it. Thank you, nevertheless.
But so that subject is to be included in your school. Because I think it is important to remember, and it is important to be reminded that there are people like you.
Okay. you can.
So I'm the co-founder, right? So I have to.
Yeah. Who made you co-founder? I said you're the first student. Okay, anyway, chalo.
That is why you become founders, because you don't have to pay. Remember?
Okay.
You see a window behind me, right? From that little window, my little window, all the way from London. I see a man who's worked very hard. I mean, that's what we see. Your journey into stardom, if that I may call that, right? Started in early 2000. Yet people call you an overnight success.
Right.
Can you share the ingredient for this so-called overnight success?
I'm going to give you all lamba answers. What is this? What is the meaning of success? Can you tell me how do you define success?
See, for me, success is quite different to the whole janta.
When you say overnight success, when you're asking me, I'm an
overnight. For me, success is every morning.
What do you think I'm successful?
Why do I think you're successful? Because the
Yeah,
people you are revered by millions of people.
that's fame.
So that's fame. But for me, when we look from the outside, that we see a success. For me, success personally is to wake up in the morning and I say that today I'm going to have the best day of my life.
That's it. Because you followed your bliss. But success for a lot of people is maybe there are two or three things. Success is how much money do you make? Because money does become a yardstick for a lot of people. So, oh man, he made a few millions here and a few millions there. Oh, okay, that's success. All right. How famous are you? How recognized are you? That's success. How many billboards are you on? And how many people take selfies with you in a day? I don't know. That gives you joy. It does give you joy. But I don't know if that's a yardstick for success. After all of that, how happy are you is the main question.
True.
And for me, in 2002, when I became well known, I became well known. I feel that success has got to do with it's something very internal and very personal in many ways. I think it's got to do with what your goals are and if you achieve them in a lifetime. I think you must have a goal, one big cosmic goal, which is happiness. Actually, that's an internal goal, and then there are many smaller goals to achieve it. There could be a prize, it could be a bank balance, whatever. But the mini goals to get to your cosmic goal have all got to do with how happy you are at the end of the day. So you made money. Are you happy? Yeah, I'm happy. Okay. How much money is going to make you happier? Because while you're making money, if you're going to be miserable making that money, that's not success. That's the way I look at it. Um, I consider myself lucky that I have wife, kids. We love each other. You saw the doggy who came and gave me a good luck nudge before the show started. You saw that.
Yes.
That's being successful. But yes, anyone who says that money ain't important, money isn't everything. Well, those are the people. Those are the people who have money. The only ones who say money isn't important are the people who have money. Money is important. Money is important to make you feel you did you provided. You did well for your family. You provided. You don't have to think 500 times before getting something basic out of life. Money is not a bad thing. Too much of it, you lose focus of what your happiness and bliss factor is, I feel.
So I'm going to ask you this again. Overnight success. People assume that success, if we use the word or whatever, fame, or you become well known
I
overnight.
know what you're saying. Yeah, no, it takes a lifetime to become overnight. Only the film became an overnight hit. It starts from the moment you have a goal. You could be 8 years old, 12 years old. I want to be an astronaut. Okay. For the rest of your life, you'll want to be an astronaut. If you don't become an astronaut, you think you're a goddamn loser. All right. But uh, as I said, if you follow your bliss, your obstacles will be higher. Eventually, I did want to make a movie. I've not made a movie yet. Right?
Right.
Now, I want to make a movie. I want to direct a movie. But the journey has been, okay, so you got to be a waiter. Then you got to become a shopkeeper. Then you got to become a photographer. Take your time. Mine is a slow and winding path. Sorry, I apologize. Then you become a photographer, and then you join theater. Then you do a small bit part here and a bit part there, and then you get recognized as an actor. Then you do a little experimental film, which people recognize, and then you become this overnight success. But my aim is to make a movie. Once I make the movie, I might have another goal. So it's a whole journey, Raga. If anyone turns and tells you, if there's a magic bullet to become an overnight success, all you got to do is meet the right person at the right time. That's only a lottery ticket.
I so agree with you. And this is what I was trying to come to, because a lot of people say that about very successful actors or any field, your runners, that, oh, overnight success. And I think it is success is not overnight anyway. There is a lot of hard work, a lot of perseverance, a lot of other effort and determination and focus that goes into
Tenacity.
discipline, tenacity,
Look
discipline.
at Amitabh Bachchan, man.
Yes.
The people didn't give him a hope in hell. They say, my God, look at you, how tall you are, and you look like this, and your voice is like that, and how are you going to make it? Look at the other. This guy, for God knows, about 8 years, he was in the industry making flop after flop. He did about 18 flops. And he so talks about it. And one fine day, one movie, that overnight success movie, Zanjeer,
Yeah.
right? No, man, that's not how it works, guys. That's
Yes.
not how it works. You go, okay. The long and the short of it is, normal people, you, me, and the rest of the world, save a few chosen ones with some lottery ticket. The word is they've got to pay their dues. You have to pay your dues. There is no way that you're going to make it in life if you do not pay your dues. I went for a job to the Taj Mahal Hotel, and the manager, to be a waiter, and the manager told me, so what department do you want to join? I said, I want to join the Rendezvous, French restaurant. Oh, I gave him a smart answer, food and beverage. Saying, idiot, the whole hotel is about food and beverage. So he says, which department? I said, the Rendezvous, the French restaurant on the rooftop. Oh, wonderful. You want to be on the rooftop? I said, yeah, of course. Wonderful. French restaurant, most expensive, exclusive. I said, great. He said, go into the basement, you idiot. Start with room service. Right? And I said, basement, what's he talking about? I want to be the French waiter. So what he was basically saying was, pay your dues. Go down there, go down into the basement, go to the kitchen, and work your way up. It's a simple formula. If you feel that somebody made it, and you look at these overnight successes, which are not overnight successes. Amitabh Bachchan leading the pack. If you say Amitabh Bachchan, no, man. We bolte Hindi mein bolte bahut papat bele. Okay. I don't know if
Yes, very बहुत पापड़ बेले है.
What papat bill. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you don't pay your dues, you will never be an overnight success. You'll never be an overnight success. The one that we are talking about.
I agree with you. And one of the other questions before I get into something very, very, very interesting is that your mother played a huge role in your life, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's a huge influence. And yeah, so do you think it is the person that you are? I mean, you're aspirational, you're high energy, all the labels that I can give you, the positive ones I'll give you on the show. So, but what is there a story behind you coming into films? How did a waiter, a photographer, how did you get into theater in the first place?
I think, my mother does have a huge hand in this that she played. You see, I was born posthumously. I was born after my father died. So my mother had three little girls and me in her womb. And I was born 6 months after my dad died. And then she was brave to understand that this kid is not going to be getting me marks in the 90s in maths and science and whatnot. He's happy when he's sitting and telling us a joke. I had a speech defect which she helped correct, and inadvertently when she sent me to a speech therapist, and that lady also did drama. So it just put me into the space, and when I would come back, I would be happy. I think it's a mixture of both. That the fact that I could speak properly, because people used to laugh at me when I used to speak with a big lisp like that, and people used to laugh and look at this guy. And it also, she made me do scenes out of plays, and I loved it. She must have seen it in my face. So she followed my bliss. She said, this kid who's a very nervous kid, always squeaking and standing in the corner, never even put his hand up to speak. I would stare at a plate of food for hours till somebody told me, do you want to eat some of that? I said, yeah, just eat it. My mom said, why are you looking at it? Pick up something. My sister would grab the stuff and then run away. And I used to be scared to even put my hand into a plate. Can you imagine how nervous I was as a child? So she said, so I think she the optics of it was, I was a nervous child, but the sense she got was, when is this kid happy? It was only when I was performing, singing, at the movies, in the cinema theater. It was like sacred. So when she used to sit next to me and she used to watch me, say, look at this kid, he thinks he's gone, it's focus. And I'm watching the movie. And then I would talk about the movie on the way home. And I think she sensed that I understood movies that were way beyond my years. And she encouraged me to watch movies that kids don't watch. Well, I used to watch all the Tom and Jerry's and all the Laurel and Hardy films and all of that, and the Disney movies. But I also watched movies that I don't think maybe understood fully, but they attracted me. The drama of it attracted me. So I was just thinking, there was a film, I teach in, screenwriting every morning. And there's a film that I had watched. It was released in 1965. So even if it came out in 1968, 69, I was 8, 9 years old when I watched In the Heat of the Night, a film about racism. And I know the dialogues by heart.
Wow.
I would come out and act scenes. As an 8 or 9-year-old kid, Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger, and I would do the scene. I would stand over here and do Rod Steiger's part and Sidney Poitier's part from there. And I'm saying, my mom must be saying, this guy is really, this is a world that he lives in, that he seems to enjoy. So she encouraged me. She didn't say, why what's wrong with your marks? She knew those marks are never going to come. Those grades are never going to make it. They're not going to cut it for this fella. He not plenty smart in arithmetic, but he plenty happy. He plenty happy in the movies. She saw that. She understood that. And hats off to her. And I'll tell you something, Raga. Even today, I'm just doing an interview. It's a conversation, but she'll want to know how it went. I have to go and report to her. Yeah. Before I came here, I have to go and tell her I'm going to do this. Who? Where? Okay. Raga. Yeah. Okay. She's 94.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's 94, but she wants to say, when I walk out of the room, to say, okay, mommy, good luck. Do a good job, okay? Good energy. Good energy, And then she'll say, and sparkle. I'm obliged to sparkle because my mother told me to sparkle. And if people say I'm a mama's boy, I'm a mama's boy. To hell with you, man. I'm a mama's boy. I listen to my mama because she tells me the right things to do. She tells me to be energetic. She tells me to give your best. It's an interview, man. It's an interview. I'm not performing. Well, when she's saying sparkle, she means be happy. Enjoy yourself. And that's the one thing she taught me.
Excellent.
She would do that.
Wonderful.
So
wonderful.
I think stuff like this is important. Parents should understand that they should not want to make their children the image of what they are or they missed out on. The children are who they are. Mama was not a person who went on stage. She never performed. But she understood my joy, and that's good parenting. To understand where this kid is happy. It's beautiful. It's important. The world can be a better place if parents understand where their children's bliss is and let them follow it. Simple. Sorry, I preached a lot, didn't I?
No, please, it's fantastic. We're learning so much from you. And that is where I think your happiness quotient comes from, right? The follow your bliss that you keep talking about. I'm just going to come back to something else now, which is like writing. Okay, I said to you, maybe I did say to you that I'm an author. I'm a writer myself. I've authored one book. In the midst of authoring 3 other books, thanks to the lockdown, I'm getting some time out. Owner, the filmmaker, has is even adapting my personal story, which I wrote, into a film.
Who's adapting it?
Owner.
Oh, Onir, okay. Yeah. Onir Khan, okay.
Yes, sir. And when he bought my story, I thought, I wish I knew how to write it into a screenplay. But I don't know the craft. I don't understand the craft. And I know there's science behind it. And I know you have set up something very, very amazing called Spiral Bound. I'm very keen to understand more about that. And how can we join in? And how can
Yeah,
people
of
like
course.
me participate? Yeah, I'd love to know.
Oh, of course. Okay. Firstly, you said the right three words. You said there is a structure and there is a science. So when we think we are writers, we automatically we switch our personalities into intellectual mode. We're intellectuals because we are writers. We aren't. So the thing is, eventually, screenwriting is a craft. It's a science. It's telling a story in a structure of 2 hours or under 2 hours, and there is the basic structure is there's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end. And I think that we have in India wonderful, wonderful stories, wonderful situations, wonderful premises. But when you got to stretch that premise out for 2 hours, we kind of lose the way. And we say, okay, the song, verse one was good, verse two was good. I don't know how to get into the chorus because there isn't a chorus, and it's going on for too long. So you have to understand that there's a science to it. And if you apply the science, you feel that you're restricting yourself. Actually, you're freeing yourself, because the moment you put it in a structure, you can start creating. Then the writer and you can come out. So what I did was, so many stories would come to me with beautiful one-liners, beautiful little premises. Gina, I'm in an interview, please. Sorry. So the thing was, I would read them and then I said, bring me the screenplay. Then they would come after coming with the screenplay, and I said, this is boring. What a lovely concept you had. What happened? Yeah, but I ran out of steam. Why? Because the science failed me. You know what I mean? So I find that tragic that this country can come up with some wonderful cinema, but to understand that for good cinema, you need good screenplays, not necessarily good stories. The
Correct.
stories can be very simple. The stories can be extremely simple. Oh boy, Gina is going to give me trouble now. Gina, behave. I beg of you, behave yourself. Come here. So, screenplay. So, when I decided to write my film, I wrote it, and I thought it was, Zeno, please come. I thought it was brilliant. Brilliant. For the whole night, it was brilliant. When I woke up in the morning and read it again, I said, oh, it's not so brilliant. Yeah. So I decided to become a student. And I decided to become a student, and I went to New York and I met this playwright, and he had just written one small art film. And I said, make me your student. And I started, the world opened up to me. And I rewrote the script God knows how many times. It doesn't matter how many times I did it, as long as I'm learning. So when I floated my company, Irani Movie Tone, sounds like a plug, it's not, believe me. I started the launch with a workshop instead of a party. Let's not have a party. Let's not have a party. Let's have a workshop. So I flew down this friend of mine who was an Academy Award winning writer. He wrote the film Birdman.
Wow.
Okay, no less. All right.
Wow.
And he came, and instead of throwing a big party, we threw a big workshop for 6 hours, the whole day. All right. The ceremony took 20 minutes. Mr. Bachchan came, he launched the logo of the company, and Spiral Bound was born, with Irani Movie Tone being my company. And I said, this is where the secret actually is. Writers. Writers are going to allow you to make great films. Tell me a great director, but given a rotten script, he can do nothing with it. It's going to be a rotten film. You give an average director a great script, it'll be a great film. Make it unmuckable. Make the script so good it's unmuckable, and that comes through science. And that's the thing that's very close to my heart. And so when the lockdown happened, I think today is the 142nd session that I conducted this morning.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
2 hours every day, and really intense and fun. And we watch movies and we break down movies, and people write scenes, and then we read out scenes, and then we talk about the science of it. No sitting and appreciating film. Oh, I love that moment and I love the performance. No, nothing of that sort. Yeah, we do that too, but not. But the idea, how do you become artisans to tell great stories? And that's my mission.
So
That's my
spiral
mission.
bound, is it? Spiral bound, right?
Spiral bound.
And how
Spiral
do
bound
you get access
given
to that?
the writing department of my company.
So, sorry, I missed that.
And it's Spiral Bound is an offshoot of my company Irani Movie Tone, because
Okay,
I think that the accent should be on screenplay. It doesn't have to be meaningful cinema. It could be entertaining cinema, but even entertaining cinema has to have a structure.
correct.
You know, so it's important to me. It's one of my new missions, one of my new wants in life, and my screenplay is ready. Next year, hopefully, we're starting to cast right now, and I'll debut as a director, as a grandfather.
Oh, fantastic.
What
Congratulations.
do you
Looking
know?
forward to that. How cool. How cool. But tell me,
Yeah,
coming back to Spiral Bound, so if
right.
people like me, we want to enroll, is it something that, is it a like a year-long course, or is it something that is,
It started, you see, it started initially. My friend Alex, the writer of Birdman, he and I decided we'll do a kind of an exchange program, and we'll take 6 students to America. And he has access to some great people over there. He works with Alejandro Inarritu and Guillermo del Toro uh, and some wonderful writers over there. He says we'll do an exchange program and expose these youngsters to these greats. Wow! So there's a lovely, but thanks to the lockdown, we are stuck here. So I started with 4 students. They said, "Can I get my friends along?" Okay, bring 4 more. So became 8. When we reached 25, I said, 25 too many to handle. We got about 150 now.
oh, wow.
We got about 150. It's just a recommendation. There is no fee, and we ask nothing of you. We
Oh,
ask
wow.
nothing, because this is the time. What's the joy of all of this? What's the bliss in all of this? Raga is a lovely give. It's a give back. I enjoy that. I enjoy that when there is nothing that I want from it, except that go out there, write some great movies, and say, "Hey, it's a give back to an industry that's given me a lot. Honestly,
How
it's
amazing.
yeah.
Different languages? What about languages? Or is it in just Hindi or?
No, we speak more. Anybody can speak in whatever language, but I communicate best in English, and I break into Hindi every single time I want to say something. When I get, "Arey yaar, tum log samajhte kyun nahi?" I go into one of those numbers, but it's mostly in English.
Okay, brilliant. And so these people who are, doing this spiral bound workshops with you, they see an opportunity in the industry through you or through others. Do they get
Well,
introduced?
you see, the thing is, as of now, I'm not looking at the opportunity part.
Sure.
Let's use the lockdown for the learning part. If it's going to be a meeting place to say, let me schmooze and get a contact here and a contact there, the purity of the learning kind of disappears. So just now, I'm not encouraging that at all. You got
Sure.
the time, you're sitting at home, learn. Don't network. Don't say, from here I'll meet so and so, and from here I'll meet so and so, and I'll try and just keep it pure, keep it honest.
Brilliant. I'm enrolling for sure. And I know there
Yeah,
are many others who are coming
we'll be
from there.
charging a fee for you, because
You, yeah, I've already paid my dues.
no, I think it's important that it should be free. On the other hand, sometimes when it is free, people don't would not take it so seriously. Prime, I can check in anytime I want. No, I think there should be a respect for the platform and respect for what is. If I might say, okay, I don't like to, it's not praise, but it's bliss. Like when people say that, there was one girl who messaged me and said, I was going to sell my flat to go to NYFA to study. You're saying it came home. I didn't have to sell my flat. My flat remained, and it came home. The education came home. Now, what more do you want? What fee do I charge for something like that? Tell me, Raga.
I know it's so gratifying, isn't it? Except for me,
Ah,
you charge
come
me, but
on.
no, seriously, it's so gratifying, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, and I'm really, looking forward to it myself. And I'm sure, like I said, there's plenty people in the audience who seem to have connected with that thought, Boman. And thank you for sharing that with us. It means a lot. Now, I'm going to talk about the creative art and its expression, and I'm going to talk about something completely different to do with our soul, because I find you as a very soulful man. no matter how funny you are, I want to have fun, and it comes from being true to your soul, right? So how do you use that part of you to connect with the audience? And I'm going to just put a little bit of context here. The last few days I've been talking about you promoting our show on various platforms. I can tell you, I haven't ever received this kind of love for anybody. And there's not a single comment I received which was negative. So, how have you managed to connect with the soul?
I don't know, Raga. I really don't know. I really have no answer for that. When you tell me soul, I really don't know. I'm sitting and keeping myself busy the whole day and enjoying myself. I'm waiting to go out and after the show and go and tell my mom and give her. She'll take a full report. So what was it? Did they speak about your movies? Did they do this? So there's. I always look. I don't know. Raga put me in a spot over there. I think I said it at the beginning of the show. Now that I'm in the spot, I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful. Um, I don't know, Raga. I don't know what you mean by soul. I just like to be a happy person. I'd like to share my bliss with family, with friends. I don't have answers for that. I might give you a clever answer, but just now I'm overwhelmed, honestly.
See, Boman Irani can actually be overwhelmed and he can be tongue tied.
All
Audience,
the time, actually.
no, but no, but it is. I think it's the purity of connection. And I'm not saying this because you're on my show. I've never said this before. I've had many, many people here. I think the connect that people feel with you is, I think, from a very pure place. And I'm just as we're speaking with you and understanding the other side of you, I think I'm beginning to understand why that is happening. I think in my own mind, I'm finding my own answers to that. And maybe one day I will tell you what the answer is.
No, we'll speak, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were saying, I don't know. I lost you at some point. I don't know. I don't know how to react to something like that, Raga. I really don't know what purity is. I just think I'm a regular guy. I mean, that's it. Um, as regular as they come. There's another thing to it. I think I think I've done a lot of character roles, right? Um, some wacky ones, some bordering on the eccentric. So my job as an actor is to observe the human nature and the human form and the human condition. Um, I think I'm interested in other human beings, uh, maybe selfishly because I use it as a sponge to use it on screen. But I don't think I could just be a technician if I didn't enjoy the company of other people. Like Nicola, I met Nicola once maybe long ago, but I connected so immediately. I know there's a connection. That's all I need in life. So, and even when she went off screen just before we went on live at 7 o'clock, I connect with, I don't know. You have me in a bind over one side.
Okay. But we will come back to that at some point later in our lives. Because I think I'll
Oh,
give you some
okay.
food for thought. Yeah. Because, okay. Should I take a minute break and just look at the audience questions so that I know they
Go
are
for it.
here?
I'll entertain the audience in the meantime. How
Yes.
many people are watching? 12? How many? 14 of us?
Well, I
16?
think
12, 9?
three at least, just you, me, and
3? Okay, 3. All 3 of us.
lots. Yeah, let's have a party. Okay, everybody's giving, lots and lots of people are giving you their wishes, so I won't go in there. I think we have some common friends. Manoj Gursahani, if you know, he says, I still remember Boma's lovely gesture during Dada Vaswani's centenary. Okay, so that's there.
Lovely, lovely person. And I'm so happy we connected with Dada. Passed away last year. Anyway, so hi, Manoj. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. What else?
Is there people asking about the spiral bound community, which you've already answered? Manpreet Kaur says, Baman sir, what genre would you be choosing when you make a movie?
Hi, Manpreet. I love relationships, and what can be heartbreaking is what is heartbreaking in a relationship when the two people love each other, somehow can't communicate each other. They find fault with each other, but they still love each other, and we don't know what the reason is why they can't quite communicate and things go off track in a second. But why? But we love each other, don't we? I'm not talking about man and woman. I'm just talking about brother and sister, father and son, mother and daughter, friend and friend. And there are times that we have such protracted arguments, and we don't know what we're arguing about. It's rooted somewhere, but we are psychologists. So the genre of my film is, why do people who are so much in love with each other as human beings, it could be a mother, a daughter, and a father and a son, why is it that they can't just have a decent conversation? And that's heartbreaking, right?
True.
I can understand a couple that, you are not the man I married. Oh, okay, fine. All right. I don't agree with that either. But when a father and a son, for example, don't say, what the hell, man? And you say, okay, let's get to the bottom of this. Is there a solution? No. Is there an acceptance? Yes. If we can accept it and say, but we love each other, then that would be great. So I like that kind of a film which delves into relationships, and relationships that you have to overcome your own ego to make things that were meant to be beautiful. I don't know if it makes sense, what I just said, but it's a very universal thought. Let me put it that way.
I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. It makes perfect sense to me, Boman, because I'm going to come back to a thread that I was following just as you were talking.
Right.
My own personal journey, and I haven't shared with you. I'm sure you don't do anything. So that owner, that story that owner has bought into and has adapted,
Right.
is a love story, which I have basically, it's a romantic comedy, and it comes from the life of me having a same-sex partner, and I want to flow
Having a sorry,
same-sex partner.
you hear that?
They call it.
Oh,
Same-
okay.
I come from the LGBT community, and I was going to ask you. You're talking about relationships, and you're talking
Right.
about love, and you're talking
Right.
about that things should be
Right.
free and open, right? So, in that, if you were to, would you ever consider playing a role in an LGBT film?
Yeah, of course. My God, human beings eventually. I can play. I can play an alien, so why can't I play a human being? And an LGBT community are human beings. I don't know if somebody else has another opinion on that subject, but they are human beings. It's very easy to play a human being with a heart that beats. It's very easy, actually. So,
Would
call on
you
me.
would you make a film on the subject if there was
Sure.
a story?
You see, that's the thing is why the question?
The question is because that's interesting. We live in a world with judges which puts
But
pressure.
your world, our world is not everybody's world. Our world is our world. We make a film that we want to make. I can act in the film that I want to act in. Did anybody tell Tom Hanks why you did Philadelphia? Right? That's the choice he makes. So yeah, of course. I think we should just get along with life as if we are human beings, and follow the bliss. Follow your bliss.
How
Life
amazing.
will be simple.
How amazing. Thank you for that. Now, the only film I'm going to talk to you about is your forthcoming film, 83. And the reason I want to talk to you about it is because of Farooq Engineer, who was also, I was a huge fan, as you can imagine, growing up at that time. So,
You're not that old. Come on, don't put yourself in.
no, but I know of him. And, in 83, Kapil Dev, we were all very young at that stage. But Farooq
Farooq
Engineer,
Engineer would be your dad's time.
correct. But he was still God for us, no? In 83, he was God when we were in
No, but he
school.
didn't play in 83, no? Farooq Engineer.
I come from a family which followed cricket, like, as you can imagine, from
But
India.
Farooq Engineer had retired in 77, maybe.
77 he retired, but I still know of him. I think he was very good looking.
He was very good looking, very good
Yeah.
looking. He's in Manchester right now. I'm in touch with him every day.
Okay, wonderful. But there's a
Yeah,
story.
every day.
There's a story attached to you and Farooq Engineer, right? In your time,
Right.
during your time at the World Cup. Please share
Right.
that story. I think it's such an enduring story.
Yeah. So So Farooq Engineer is this boyhood hero of mine. I had seen him play cricket, and his last innings was in 1977, and in 60s and early 60s he was God, right? He has a role in '83 as a commentator, the first Indian commentator in the British commentary box. So I'm supposed to be playing him, and I was supposed to come 2 or 3 months later to shoot those scenes. So I'm with my family in London, and we are all dumping our bags in the car, and we are running late for the airport, and somebody says, Farooq Engineers outside the hotel, the Taj, and so I went running, hey, hello, hey, Boman, how are you? Parsi food. Food comes into the conversation every 2 seconds, with Farooq. And he said, where are you going? Come on, we'll have a drink. I said, no, I'm going to the airport. Okay, why are you going to the airport? I said, I'm going back to Bombay. No, don't go. Don't go? No. I said, my family's in the car. Okay, drop them and come back. He says, I can't drop them to the airport and come back. He said, no, you go to Bombay, Mumbai, drop them and come back to London. I said, why? He said, come to Manchester. Because in 4 days is the India-Pakistan match at Old Trafford. So I said, okay. And I went and I said, okay, come, stay with me now. Imagine a kid who's a fan of MS Dhoni, and MS Dhoni meets him 30 years later and says, come to my house, stay with me, and we'll go and watch an India-Pakistan match. So I go and sit in the car and said, what did he say? He said, he said this. So Zenobia, come back. It's not a big problem. I said, we're just in London. We don't go to London in the same week twice, right? I said, no, you want to stay back? He said, no, I said, I have a shoot for the next couple of days. Finish it, come back. You'll never get this opportunity again to be with your boyhood hero, to stay in his house and be taken by him. And he's a big name there at the Old Trafford. And we stand on the balcony and we watch an India-Pakistan match. So I flew back with biryani and all for the big guy. Oh, biryani laya, Boman,
See, you've got 4 strong women in your life.
Sorry?
I said you've got 4 strong women in your life now.
Mom, Zenobia,
Nicola and Raga.
I don't. No, I came back, and I stayed there in his house, and we are sitting and we are having these afternoon wet lunches, if you know what I mean. And I'm saying, is this a dream? I'm telling you, ask one of the kids of today. Dhoni is your hero. Virat is your hero, right? They call you over to their house to stay with them after 30 years, and you're a fan, right? Yeah, you don't let these things go, man. There's one life to live. Just do it. Follow your bliss.
Absolutely. And this is why I wanted you to share the story, because it's not just endearing it's also, I think when you dream of something and when you look up to someone else, we must always believe that will happen to us in our lives.
Yes. See, all your life you ended up doing an interview with me and it came true.
Absolutely. I have been wanting this for years. No, seriously, I can tell you this. I must tell you, I was in New Zealand and Khosla Ka Ghosla. This is early 2000. I've had 2 actually incidents about you. One is Khosla Ka Ghosla, which I absolutely loved. And for the first time, I saw a theater with people watching a Bollywood film in Wellington. And that was your Khosla Ka Ghosla.
Okay.
And I have twins who are now 22 years old. I must tell you, when we lived in New Zealand. Not bad, no? So when we lived in New Zealand, the first movie that I actually showed to them when they were 5 years old, or maybe 5, 7 years old, was Darna Mana Hai.
Oh boy!
My daughter has never forgiven me for it.
Yeah, I don't forgive you. What are you doing to your kids, man?
Exactly, bad mom. But
Bad mom.
So there's been a huge influence. Of course, I've been a fan of yours for years, and I'm very grateful to have had this time with you. And I'm going to ask you some random questions. If you don't mind, you can tell me, I love the philosophy that you stand by, but what is that philosophy? Can you share with our audience? Do you have a philosophy?
I just told you, man. What are we doing for the past 49 minutes?
Repeat, karo. Age is catching up.
I just say, I think, okay, it sounds like I'm trying to be a nice guy. I'm not. I'm a pain in the backside to live with. You can ask. But I think the philosophy should be While you're having fun, make sure no one gets hurt along the way. Number one.
Sure.
Number two, if you're in a position to help, help. And number three, don't expect anything from anyone. Not because you'll be heartbroken if you expect much, but when you do something, just do it and forget it. The reward comes maybe 25 years later if you're not thinking about it. That's the philosophy I live by. So if you do something, you never say, I did that. You just look at him, it's shameless, and ehsan faramosh. No, forget about it, man. You will be rewarded. And I also believe in the cosmos. I also believe that things align themselves up for you, because if you feel that there is something, hate to say, pure in your intention, then good things will happen, but also tough things will happen.
Sure.
Tough things will happen. Don't think that you can sidestep all that. So yeah, so don't expect any. Don't I the thing is, our egos have a great play in all of this. If you do something for someone, our ego tells us we expect a thank you, and our ego tells us he never even he forgot about it, and he's so the ingratitude got to me. You did it. You didn't put it on a piece of paper, right? You did it. It's over. You'll be at peace. There's another mantra that I go by, another philosophy that I go by. I try not to get upset because nobody knows what's running inside that head of yours when you're upset. It's rising and rising and rising and rising. And then say, for example, when you're on a set and they say, your shot is ready in 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, I'm ready in 10 minutes. Okay, I'm ready. And they say, oh, shot delayed by another half an hour. Oh, God. And then again, after half an hour, there's the light. What can they do, man? Why are you getting upset? Nobody on the set knows you're upset. So this, which is inside of your head, is your space. Don't muck with it. Your ego is actually telling you to be upset because they're making me wait, ego. And then this go, I don't want that. Sit down and, sorry, see that? You sit around and just read a book or concentrate on your character or learn something new. Simple. It's an uncomplicated life as far as I'm concerned. It's not that there will not be hardship. There will be.
Sure, sure. And I know I'm taking a lot of your time. I'm just going to quickly say two things. One is there's lots of your fans here. People from all around the world have joined in. There is one particular person who keeps on writing, Ashwini Kinhikar. I know her well. She says, please convey my regards. So Raj Singh Rawat, there is lots and lots. There's one very interesting question that came up because so many questions. But I will just take this thing, saying that do you think the silence needs to be described more than dialogues in a screenplay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what would you give priority? This is from Harsh Toliwal.
Who's that?
Harsh Toliwal.
Hi, Harsh. Yeah. Cinema is visual medium, right? And so I think the lesser the dialogues, the better. Sometimes you express yourself through dialogues, but then you can express yourself through visuals. I have had the good fortune of working with one of our all-time greats, and that's Shyam Benegal. He's made some 35 movies, I think. Out of them, 18 or 19 have won national awards. 19 films have won national awards. We've got two people who've made 2 films and I've arrived, So he told me something very important about the language of cinema. He said that when you watch a foreign language film and you don't have subtitles, say on a given day, the subtitles feature doesn't work. All right? And you can only hear the dialogues, less or more, I don't know, in a language you don't understand. If you can watch that film and understand it, then the filmmaking and storytelling is great because they've not depended only on the dialogues. So if you can visually see and understand what may have happened without understanding the dialogues and you still understand the film, that's a good film. Well, that should answer your question, Harsh.
I hope it did, Harsh. There is one question again back from Sharvi Khatri saying, sir, how do you decide who you take in on as your student? I'm thinking she's talking about Spiral Bound. Is there a criteria?
Well, the very fact that if someone reaches out to me and says I'm interested in writing, though, let me make this very clear. In Spiral Bound, I have people who have never written before, but the enthusiasm is good enough. I have directors, I have cinematographers in the group, I have art directors, I have musicians, and I think it's and actors. Now, for me, when we want to be a better actor, I think you should learn screenwriting also, because you understand the graph of a story, the intent of the character. So you don't have to pass some test to get in. If you can reach out to me, and I'll add you to the group, and that's it.
Great. So I'll put the links on this particular session after this
Yeah,
talk, and anybody interested, if they want to join in, they could join in.
yeah, sure. And I'll add them into the group, and we'll send a link. It's at 12 o'clock, 11:30 or 12. Certain days 11:30, certain days 12 noon. We go on for an hour and a half. It's a great fun experience. I'll tell you that.
Fantastic. I look forward to it. I have my teacher from school, Archana Hari Shankar Shukla, saying hello to you, and she says hello to you. Now,
Hi.
I won't take too much time because I know we are running out of time with you.
Don't
And
worry.
but audience, don't go away. I have a surprise. I'm going to do the thank yous first, and then I'm going to end this with a surprise. Please stay back. Please, thank you very much. Just in case after the surprise you run away. Yeah,
I
and
will.
thank you, Nicola, for everything that you've done in the background, and I want to acknowledge that and my team at Speaking Minds. Happy, Boman? I
Both
acknowledge
important. I think it's a very important thing. Nicola is a star in her own right and all that. Look at she comes with the flair and all of it. But I think people who work these days, they use it in the back end. There's a new term that everyone uses, in the back end, are important. You can't do nothing without them. Nothing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so therefore it gives me an opportunity to thank your manager, Shahrukh, who's helped us with
Okay.
the coordination, and your social media team, Harsh and Zenil. Audience, we couldn't be doing this without you. So thank you so much for your love. Coming up in the next part of our series is going to be Captain Raghuraman, who many know, Gul Panag,
Wow.
Parmeshwani, across the range, the spectrum. On the other side, now, can we have that special surprise, Baman?
What surprise are you talking about?
I don't know. Surprise me.
Oh, that's hardly a surprise. Come on, Raga, you built it up. I thought you were going to do some dance for me. I don't know. You're requesting me to sing you a song, and that's the big surprise that
Of course, of course.
Choro,
For
yeah.
us in the audience, we love you. We want to listen
No,
to your
man,
voice.
it's no big surprise. Let me push this table a little further so that I can. Yeah, come on. Hey, listen, guys, I'm not much of a singer, but Raga's asked me to sing. And my mother's orders are, if somebody asks you to do anything, must never say no, never make a fuss. Never make a
Especially a
fuss.
lady.
So we'll do a song.
Please do. We're all waiting. Aren't we waiting? Come on, audience. Tell me that we are waiting. Give us a thumbs up.
All right, everybody can sing along. And it's a sad song, but I don't look at it as a sad song. I look at it as a song of hope. You all know what I'm singing. I know 1.5 songs on this planet, right? Which I can sing publicly. Can you hear the guitar?
Yes.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो, जीने दो. सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो, जीने दो. Na 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 na. No, oh, give me some sunshine, give me some rain. Give me another chance. I wanna grow up once again. बचपन तो गया जवानी भी गई एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो oh yeah na 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 na
No, some more. This is
Oh man, I made some mistakes and I just lost the thread, but that's all.
but audience, isn't this a beautiful surprise? The
Oh, what
best
a
surprise.
surprise!
We love surprises. This was a beautiful surprise. What a fantastic session. I have loved my time with you. And I hope it was fun enough for you as
It
well.
was great. It was great. It's just that I find it, I've gotten used to talking, and I always like to see people's faces. I like to see reactions because people listen with their eyes, they listen with their eyes, but I'm not seeing any faces. Nicola also ran away. But I hope that what you heard engaged you, if not anything else, and you had fun. What you take away is yours. Otherwise, I had a good time, as I told you. That's the one promise I made you. I'm going to have a good time, and I did. Thank you, Raga, very much.
Thank you, Boman. Thank you, audience. Wonderful comments we're getting about your voice and your singing. So wonderful. Thank you for that surprise. Lots of love and all the best. And we're looking forward to your film.
Thank you so much, Raga.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of love. Yeah, bye. Bye, everybody.